In the next two examples, we're going to take a look at common factoring. In our first example here, we have 3x cubed minus 6x squared plus 18x to the 4. The first thing that I tend to do when looking for a common factor is to see if there's a common factor within the numerical coefficients only. So in this case, I'm focusing on 3, negative 6, and positive 18. 3, negative 6, and positive 18 all share a common factor of 3. So we can remove that number first. Then we can move into the variable portions of our terms, that is x cubed, x squared, and x to the power of 4. Here we take the lowest power of our variable pieces, or in this case we take x squared as part of our common factor. Now we can go back term by term and divide out 3x squared. 3x cubed divided by 3x squared is x. Then we're going to subtract 6x squared divided by 3x squared, that's 2. And finally we add 18x to the power of 4 divided by 3x squared, and that is 6x squared. Now it's fairly customary to take this polynomial that we have inside the brackets and rewrite it in decreasing powers of our variable x. Now some of you may notice that we have a trinomial in here, and it might be possible to factor this trinomial. But for right now in our example, we're just focusing on common factoring, so I'm not going to factor this quadratic term. We'll take a look at how to tackle factoring quadratic terms a little bit later. In our second example, I'd like to show you that it is possible to pull out what we call a binomial factor. So if we have the expression x plus 2 all squared minus 3 times x plus 2, we could look at each of our two terms, our x plus 2 squared and our 3x plus 2, and we might notice that each of these terms has a common factor of x plus 2. So if we pull out this common factor of x plus 2, we might ask ourselves, what is x plus 2 squared divided by x plus 2? And what's remaining after we do that division is x plus 2. And then next we could move over and do the division 3 times x plus 2 divided by x plus 2, and ask ourselves what's left over after we do that division, and that is simply the 3. And we could simplify our second bracket a little bit to get x plus 2 times x minus 1.